All right, so that's for the foregut. Midgut is not that complex. So we already know the extension of the foregut, right? So extending from the esophagus up to where the bile duct enters the duodenum. All right. All right. So, and then we said that from the, what was it, three from the, so parts 3, 4 of the duodenum to 2/3 of the transverse colon was our midgut. That's what we said, right? Let's see here. Okay, so that's what we're focusing on, right? The midgut. Okay, and you can see the midgut here. So somewhere around there to, okay, I'm not exactly sure, but it's going to include all these guys here, maybe to right here somewhere. Cool? Okay, so let's actually look at what's actually happening. So basically, as the gut tube is developing or whatever, you're going to have a bit of the gut tube sticking out. You're going to have a bit of the gut tube sticking out around the midgut area. You see how it's sticking out a little bit? You see it? So the tube is going to be proliferating, so it's going to be growing, right? And as it's growing, it's going to be associated with your superior mesenteric artery. Do you know the artery that's associated with the foregut?
Celiac.
All right, so celiac is what? Foregut. The midgut was what?
Superior mesenteric.
And then hindgut was?
Inferior mesenteric.
Okay, that's right. Okay, so superior mesenteric. So as the midgut is growing, it's going to be associated with your SMA, superior mesenteric artery. Okay, so this is kind of like an aside a little bit, but okay, maybe we can finish discussing this aspect. So it associates with the superior mesenteric artery. The midgut will be growing, proliferating really fast, and it's going to start to rotate around the axis of the superior mesenteric artery. And that's what we can see here. So we see it, right? This is the superior mesenteric. This is the dorsal aorta right there. It's your dorsal aorta. This is the superior mesenteric artery right there. So as it's proliferating and getting big or whatever, it's going to start to rotate around the axis of the superior mesenteric artery. Now what happens is that it proliferates so much, all right, that it starts to herniate through this umbilical cord. It starts to herniate through here, right? And then, let's see here. Okay, so after a while, as it herniates, it's actually going to return back into the body wall. And that's what you see here. So after it herniated, now it actually returned back. All right. Okay, so this is what Dr. Baker said in class. So this herniation is known as a physiological herniation. It's normal, it's natural. So what happens is that you can have a problem if that herniation does not return back to the your peritoneal cavity. If it doesn't return, if it don't return back, it's called an umbilical, which you can see here. Right. So you can see it here. It's a better image. This is where the midgut, it was growing, proliferating or whatever, rotating, and then it started to herniate through the umbilical cord, but then it didn't return back. And then we end up with this umbilical. Okay, so the rotation is 270 degrees counterclockwise. All right. So the thing is that you can have a problem where the rotation does not occur. I don't think he gave a name for this, but you can have a situation where you're not getting any rotation. That's a problem. So it turns out that after you do get the rotation, this is your cecum right here. The cecum is right below the liver. All right. Then later on, it will actually descend a bit, and now it's going to be in its proper orientation. Then another thing to point out here. Now, we had talked about this, but not in detail before. So,
wait, can you go back?
Yeah, sure.
So,
Yeah.
the 270-degree turn happens, and that's normally what happens?
Yeah.
So, what's the problem?
If you don't get the rotation?
Mm-hmm.
So the intestines look it looks weird. They look weird.
Okay.
They look weird.
So in a normal case, you have the rotation and the cecum starts there and then it migrates down. That's what
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But remember, the 270 degrees is like already occurring over here and stuff. So.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is the thing. At the site of the ileum, here we go. Let me erase this. Notice the cecum here, right? So this is kind of like it's returning back. Here goes our liver, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the cecum is going to be right next to the liver as it's returning. Now, at the site of your ileum, right? Notice that this is what? This is our umbilical cord. At the side of your ileum, you're going to have something coming out here. I think they call it a yolk stalk, but this is called your Vitelline duct. All right. So what is this Vitelline duct? The Vitelline duct is actually okay. We're almost done, so we'll be free in a little bit. But I just wanted to some of this stuff I wanted to make it a little bit clearer. So this yolk stalk, also known as your Vitelline duct, is actually continuous with so you see the yolk sac, right? Mm-hmm. Outside the embryo. So this little stalk is actually going to leave through that umbilical cord, and it's going to connect to that yolk, this yolk sac here. Mm-hmm. So basically, the yolk sac is inside that amniotic cavity area, and it's actually continuous with the gut tube at the site of the ileum, what you're seeing here. This here is the ileum. This is a Vitelline duct, or the yolk stalk, and it's going to connect to your yolk sac. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. Now this is the thing. You can have a problem. All right. So you can have various problems occurring with this. Meckel's diverticulum, Vitelline cyst, fistula. I have an image of this so that you can visualize this. Here it is right here. So Meckel's diverticulum. So you have an outpouching, all right, of that, I guess Vitelline duct. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't like regress as it should. And then in this case here, it's almost like you were forming a ligament to form the regression, and then you still have part of it left over. So this is like a Vitelline cyst. Mm-hmm. And then what happens is that actually you don't form any ligament or anything. So you actually have a fistula. You have a continuation with, this is your belly button, because that was where your umbilical cord was. Mm-hmm. So you actually have an opening from your ileum to the outside. Do you see that? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So, let me see here.